Ford's Theater, where tragedy changed the course of American history, A Night at the Theater, and the bullet that stopped a nation. Imagine the flicker of gaslights, the murmur of a packed house, and the anticipation in the air as President Abraham Lincoln settles into his velvet box seat. In the heart of Washington, D.C. on April 14, 1865, Ford's Theater promised an evening of laughter and reprieve after years of civil war. Yet, as the curtain rose on a comedy, no one could have foreseen that this stage would soon become the backdrop for the most shocking moment in American history, the assassination of the nation's beloved leader. Ford's Theater is more than an old playhouse. It is a living memorial to a president, a turning point in the Civil War, and a place where America's story changed forever. Step inside and the echoes of tragedy, intrigue, and national transformation still linger. From playhouse to political epicenter, the theater's early days. Originally opened in 1863 by John T. Ford, Ford's Theater was a grand symbol of Washington's cultural aspirations. Known for its elegant architecture, the theater welcomed statesmen, soldiers, and citizens alike. Amidst the turmoil of the Civil War, it offered a rare escape, a place where North and South, rich and poor, gathered for music and drama. Lincoln's love of the theater. President Lincoln was a regular patron, seeking solace from the burdens of war within these walls. For Lincoln, theater was more than entertainment. It was a balm for a weary spirit. On the fateful night, he attended our American cousin to celebrate the Union's impending victory, and perhaps to dream of a new era of peace. The assassination, a nation stunned, John Wilkes Booth's deadly plot. John Wilkes Booth, a famous actor and Confederate sympathizer, saw the end of the Civil War not as a time for healing, but for vengeance. In a plot as audacious as it was tragic, Booth slipped into Lincoln's box during the play's funniest line, fired a single pistol shot into the president's head, and leapt onto the stage, shouting, "Sic semper tyrannis," thus always to tyrants. The audience, stunned and confused, barely grasped what had happened until Booth escaped out the back. In an instant, Ford's Theater was transformed from a house of laughter to a scene of horror and national mourning. The aftermath doctors rushed to Lincoln's side, but the wound was fatal. The president was carried across the street to the Peterson House, where he died the next morning. The news raced through Washington and across the nation, plunging the country into shock and grief. Ford's Theater immediately became a site of investigation and sorrow. Booth was hunted down and killed days later, but the scars of that night would linger for generations. Central to Civil War memory, more than a crime scene. Ford's Theater stands at the crossroads of art and politics. It is not just the spot where a great president fell, but a powerful symbol of the fragile line between peace and chaos, hope and despair. The assassination changed the course of Reconstruction and the nation's healing. Lincoln's vision of reconciliation and malice toward none was replaced by harsher policies and deeper divisions, altering the trajectory of American history. The theater's turbulent afterlife. After the assassination, Ford's Theater closed its doors as a playhouse. The government seized the building, and for years it served as a War Department office, a warehouse, and even a record storage facility. The stage remained dark, haunted by the memory of that tragic night. It wasn't until the 1960s, nearly a century later, that Ford's Theater was restored and reopened. Today, it serves both as a working theater and a national historic site, welcoming visitors from around the world. Visiting Ford's Theater, stepping into history. Immersive experience. Walking into Ford's Theater today is like stepping back to the 1860s. The restored auditorium, with its plush red seats and ornate boxes, evokes the grandeur of its heyday. The presidential box, draped in flags, is preserved just as it was that fateful night. The theater's museum tells the broader story: Lincoln's presidency, the Civil War, and the events leading up to and following the assassination. Artifacts include Booth's derringer, Lincoln's top hat, and original playbills from that infamous performance. Across the street, the Peterson House. No visit is complete without crossing the street to the Peterson House, where Lincoln spent his final hours. The simple bedroom, somber and still, is a poignant reminder of the human cost of political violence. Ford's Theater today, a living legacy. Ford's Theater is not just a place to remember tragedy, it is a space for dialogue, education, and performance. Today, the theater hosts plays, lectures, and programs that explore themes of leadership, democracy, and social justice, carrying forward Lincoln's legacy. In the heart of the nation's capital, Ford's Theater stands as a powerful testament to resilience, remembrance, and the enduring quest for unity. It reminds us that history is not just made on battlefields, but on stages, in moments of darkness and light alike. So, the next time you find yourself in Washington, D.C., pause at Ford's Theater, where the echoes of that tragic night still remind us how a single moment can shape the destiny of a nation.